There we go. Hey, I think we're live. I think so. Yeah, how about that? Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome to another Mac84 live stream. And yeah, today we're gonna be unboxing stuff. Yeah, there I am. And suspense is building up. So I have some boxes here, and once we go through these boxes, there will be some other stuff that we'll be messing around and testing. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Scarlet Swordfish. Oh my gosh, a bunch of people here. Ben, Matt, Aaron, got Raw Elements. Jay loves the color pink, so if you ever donate something to him, make sure it's pink. And I can't forget, because before I even went live, Greg Rockhay Mods, gave me a super chat. So, eat! And he has a little bunny cat thing that says My Hero, which is vaguely creepy, but also I admire it. So, Eep, thank you, Greg. And well, what's in the box? Well, that's what you're all here for. You're here to see what's in the box. Hey, Jordan. Hello, Greg again. Hey, Bruce. Bruce is first in his time zone, so that works out perfectly for him. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully the video is not laggy or anything. So, imperfect foods. Yes, well, there's no food in the box. Well, hopefully, let's hope not. Oh boy, well, I'm doing good, guys. How you guys doing? You guys staying safe, staying sane? It's a little mixture of both here. Well, anyway, what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be looking at some things I picked up recently, some things I purchased, some things people were very kind to donate, and some other things afterwards. What we'll be doing is, after all these boxes are off my desk, what I will be doing is there are a few machines I got from my friend who does recycling, and I want to take a look at some of those things. I got them a few months ago. Never had a chance to look at them. I kind of was actually afraid to plug some of them in because they're mostly CRT related. Yeah, so new Apple products. Well, new is a very relative term, but oh my goodness! Thank you, Jordan. Eep. So thank you, Jordan, for the super chat. I am very interested in these emoji-like characters that keep popping up. That's a very interesting way to get my attention. Ooh, Jay's writing a script for his next video. I'm looking forward to that. So we have some cool things coming. I know that Jay's been working on some videos. I know Mike from Mike's Mac Shack has been working on some videos. Bruce has been working on some videos. Greg has been working on some videos. Everybody's working on videos these days. So these are pretty. Yes, super stickers. That's the official term for them. So yeah, everyone's been busy except everyone has, I guess, a lot of time on their hands, which I've been busy too. not all of it I could show on screen yet, but all right, cool. So what I will be doing is, and David actually made a few videos too, and David, I have to thank David because he was awesome enough to do a little giveaway for 50 subscribers, and he gave away a Blue Yeti microphone. And I won the microphone, and I swear I didn't bribe him. Don't listen to what Jay says. And so that was very gracious of him. I'm very excited to receive the microphone. I'll be retiring this little Logitech one, which, yeah. Oh, another creepy sticker from Greg. Eep! Thank you. Thank you, Greg. It's very much appreciative. That one is a little lemon thing with a peach. Well, these are getting more and more obscure. I mean, the fuzzy animal is okay, but the lifelike fruit with the limbs and everything, I'm at a loss for words there. Anyway, maybe it's just the box of cables. I would not turn down a box of cables, let me say that. What I will say is thank you again to David for running that contest, and I was very lucky to win that, so that would be great. It'll be good to have a better microphone on my desk here. And another giveaway, which you should all be notified about, is Mike from Mike's Mac Shack is doing a giveaway of an iBook G4 1 gigahertz 12-inch model. And this iBook has a fantastic, shell and everything. The condition is great. And the battery life is something like 3 hours. This thing is insane. And I actually owned that iBook. I gave it to him as part of a trade a while back. And he got a PowerBook, so he doesn't really use it that much. So he's going to do a giveaway. So I don't know if I could pull up the link, but Jay or Grudy, if you want to paste in the link to the video that Mike did and just put in the chat there. What you have to do for Mike's giveaway is to, I believe you have to subscribe, and then you have to join the Facebook page. I think that's how he's counting. But don't take my word for it. Watch Mike's little video. It shows this pretty neat iBook off, and gives you details of how to enter that giveaway. So it's been graciously, in my possession. Now it's in Mike's possession. So if that adds any magic to it, well, go ahead and look at Mike's video so you get some attention to that, because that's a pretty neat machine. They were very gently used, and I think I got 4 of them from a school years and years ago. And I think that was the best one of the bunch. It was the fastest one, had the biggest hard drive space and everything. And what's interesting about those is it was an educational model, so which obviously I got from school. So the whole thing with that model is, instead of your standard DVD burner drive, or a CD-ROM drive, you actually got a CD burner. So it was sort of a halfway mark there that they offered a CD burner on that model. But anyway, so thank you very much, Jay, for popping the video in there. And Jay, is part of our MacYak crew, as well as Bruce and Grudy. So if you click on their little text, I think it's the text part of their names there. If you're not already subscribed to their channels, check them out. Brankus Creations, Rucke Mods, and the House of Moth are those who I'm referring to if you don't recognize their names from previous streams. But anyway, let's get on some unboxing here, because there's quite a bit in here, and then there's 2 little things that I'll bring out first. So the first thing here, Greg probably knows exactly what this is. And so this comes from, got a little note. This comes as a donation from Ed in Ohio. And this box is awkward and hard to fit on the desk. Let's try and take out some pieces here. Show us the Mac. Well, let's see what's in here. Alright, so we have something that's long. Well, not really. It's almost like a perfect square. Any guesses what this could be? Might be a laser disc. Might be a vinyl record. Might be a really delicately cut piece of plastic or something. Let's open this up and see what it is. I'm not going to tell you. I know what it is, but you guys don't. Alright, so we have some guesses. We have painting. This is very neatly wrapped too, so I'm probably going to wrap it up as soon as I unbox it here. So I don't want to destroy the packaging here. I'm going to get another one. Place your bets, people. A screen protector. Let's hope I don't stab myself here and turn this into a Rucke Mods video. And we got one more piece of tape. Should angle the camera a bit lower. You don't need to see my head as much. There we go. Right off the bat, Josh is talking about Windows. We're off to a good start. All right. Oh boy. Excellent packing job here by Ed. Whoops, did I lose the paper? The box flap is in the way here. Excellent job here. Wrapping job here by Ed. And as we remove the layers here, should be quite apparent sooner or later. Geez, there's more tape on here. Again, excellent packaging job. That should do it. No, I'm not going to drop it. There we go. And it's even packed in a little flap here, which I'm not going to remove the... Well, actually, I will for illustrative purposes. As I lose my knife here. This is obviously a board of some kind. And we're going to play a little game, see if you guys can guess what type of a board it is. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to guess. There are some clues right away to narrow this down. Guess what type of board it is. We got some guesses here. Quadra 950, Mac 2, Centrus. Nope, these are... you be quiet, Gertie. Yeah, this is, let's say it's not an early board. It's not a server board. I guess it could be considered a server board. It's not a PC Logic board. Aaron is close. It is a Power Macintosh board. And Jordan Kennedy gets the prize of knowing. Macintosh 9500. Yep. So this is a Power Macintosh 9500. And so what happened was Ed was going to buy a replacement board for his Power Mac 9600. And what happened was, I guess there was some sort of mix-up with the seller or the listing on eBay. And he ended up ordering a... what he thought was a 9600 board, what was probably listed as one, and it came out to be a 9500 board. So he didn't have any use for it, and he asked me if I'd be willing to accept his donation, which I graciously did accept. And little history there that Power Mac 9600 actually made its way to Greg. So Rucky Mods did a video on that, and it's quite a good video. He souped up that 9600, didn't know what was coming. But yeah, so this is a 9600. All of its 6 PCI slots there is sort of the giveaway. You have your processor direct slot. You have your ROM slot there. Tons of memory slots there. You got your standard I/O of the time. You have your SCSI port, your AAUI connector, which is for networking interfaces, and Ethernet. You got an Ethernet built in, which is nice. It gives you the option there. You have 2 serial ports. You got your ADB port. You got your sound in and your sound out. Looks like the sound out is actually missing the plastic there for one of the ports, but I don't know if it's the out or the in, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. You could probably actually replace that. It looks like it might only be the plastic bit that's gone, but either way, this is an excellent part, so thank you, Ed. What's nice about this is Mike from Mike's Mac Shack gave me a 9500 and another board for it, but I couldn't get that thing really to work. I didn't know if it was the ROM or whatever, so this came with the board, and it came with the ROM and the little PRAM battery cover. So it looks like I have a complete board here, which is great. Yeah, this board is huge. I have an 8500 and 8100 board. I think it's an 8500 board. And it's practically very similar size there. So this is a nice thing to be able to have in my collection because you could always use some spare parts. And I'm going to attempt to put this carefully back away because I don't want to lose it or chip anything or damage it. We don't want this to become another Quadra 840 AV board, huh? How many surfer bounce cats are on that thing? Oh boy, let's count the capacitors for Bruce. The answer is too many. Holy moly. I hope I don't have to recap this one. Actually, by looking at some of the dust on here, might have to. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Place your bets. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh boy. So, guess how many capacitors are on this thing. I'm not going to count the tiny ones on the other side. Thankfully, there's none of the nasty ones on the other side. All right, we got 35 caps. We got 80-ish. Matt says 30. Yeah, there's a lot on here. Sorry, Jay. Wow. Yes, you were close, Danny. I do have actually a 9600 and a 9650. So there are just over 40 capacitors on this board, like 41, 42. So that will be, if I ever have to do that, a recap video probably filled with a lot of popping capacitors and a lot of me screaming like a little girl. And a lot of them are tiny. Probably just hearing most of this, but okay. Well, thank you again, Ed. That was very kind of you. You sent along a little note here. Keep up the great work. Always fun to watch your live streams and other videos. You, along with other YouTube folks, have great workbenches and areas to utilize while enjoying your hobby. I live in a small place, so I do not have the room to make a lab. However, it's fun to watch others do this much the same. Ed from Ohio. Hope this item will enhance not only your enjoyment of old Macs, but your collection overall. Thank you very much, Ed. Very kind of you. So let's. Oh my gosh, lots of comments here. Trying to catch up. To put the board up to the light so we could see all the traces. Yes, David was very prompt in shipping that. I was the one that was a little delayed in getting my information to him, so it's not Dave's fault at all. Thank you, David. Okay, so actually, you know, I'm taking off this hat because the way this is, it's blocking my face. So, all right, cool. So, focus. We're just gonna focus everything. There we go. All right, so we got another box here. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of recapping streams. We're doing a lot of that. So, next box. This has multiple items in it, and it's not food. I promise you, it's not food. You can smell them all the way from Texas. Yep. That's, wouldn't be surprised. As Bruce and everyone else who has attested to with those old capacitors, they stink up a storm. So anyone who's repaired those knows exactly what I'm talking about. Charlie knows what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So, yeah, no, there's no food in here. But there's a bunch of goodies. So, about a week ago, someone posted, I'm knocking stuff off my desk, somebody posted on Facebook Marketplace that they had some stuff they were clearing out for a neighbor or a friend. And they listed a bunch of items, and I was interested in a few of them. And ended up making an offer on it, and we went back and forth. And I eventually said, well, can you give me a shipping quote? And long story short, the shipping quote was almost as much as what I paid for it. So there's a good amount of goodies in here, so I'm glad I did get what I got. But this is a bunch of cool stuff, so be happy to show this to you. So actually, let me move this just a little bit higher, because there we go. You'll be able to probably see the box a little bit better, because we need some more room here. So Apple is good for you. Yes, an apple a day will keep the sad Mac away. Can I have some food? No, there's no power books, I don't think. But let's a lot of packaging. So let's the bunnies will enjoy this. Okay. All right, so we have, let's see. All right, so we have a few boxes in here. So the first thing I want to bring out is this. This is a Macintosh memory expansion kit. It's sealed in the original box there. And this is for a Macintosh Quadro, and this is actually video memory. So it's a VRAM expansion kit for the Quadro. I believe it's like something like 512 kilobytes of memory, something like that. I believe it's a pair. So this pair of VRAM SIMs go in one of those compatible machines. Yes, dealer installation required. And so these are pretty neat. What was funny is when they were posted on Facebook, people were mentioning, oh, you know, that they're not worth much. And then someone else saying, oh my goodness, anything Apple is worth something, and going back and forth. So I'm like, okay, but I didn't get a bad deal on these. You know, they're just 512K VRAM SIMs. I mean, they're not as common as they used to be, but you could go on eBay and find them. So this is good to have. It's nice to have it in a little box. I will likely be opening this at some point, but there was not only one available, there was two. So I have a matching pair, which is good because I have a few Quadro machines, and I believe these will actually work for some of Apple's graphics cards they released at the time, where they had multiple rows of video memory. So these will be fun to look at. I'm sure what's inside is simply a piece of paper and the memory modules. We will be opening this up at a later date. If I bring this to the Genius Bar at the Apple Store, Danny, I don't think they're going to have any idea what to do with it. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably open one and keep one sealed. I mean, I'm going to look up the model number here, see. I know there's a list of machines it's compatible with. They're both the same type. But I will be unboxing a bunch of sealed Apple stuff in a future live stream. I have an Apple Talk card for an image writer. I have these, and I have a few other things. So there's some sealed stuff that I'm going to be opening that is really cool. So I'll, of course, make a live stream link when that stuff is going to be happening, but not going to do this today. We have other things to focus on now. But speaking of sealed things, this is much more common. This is a macOS 10 10.1 upgrade kit. So this includes an upgrade CD, and includes manual, some other goodies here. Of course, there's their tagline there at the back. You know, the power of Unix, the simplicity and elegance of the Macintosh. So this was, you know, an up-to-date kit for 10.1. These are very common. You can go on eBay, get these for under $10 usually. They're sealed. So Aaron and anybody else who has their jaw dropping on that. There was a guy on Facebook that still had a bunch, but also you could find them on eBay relatively easily. They are just very, very common because 10.0 came out, and you know, it wasn't the stablest release. So what Apple did is they had coupon programs and redeemable programs where you essentially got this for free or for the cost of shipping or for $20 or something like that. So depending on the machine you bought, depending on the time frame you got it in, you were able to get these pretty cheap. So there's a surplus of them because most people actually waited to buy OS 10. They waited for 10.1. I know I did. I have my 10.1 box all the way on the other side of the basement there. But unboxing. Oh, thank you, Jay. See, that is a very appropriate little image there. Eep! Because that unboxing correlates directly to this. No crazy fruit or anything that's going to give me nightmares or anything like that. Raw Element says his G3 iMac runs 10.1. Well, that's not bad. I usually run Panther or Tiger, depending on it. But yes, this is an upgrade disc. It includes a CD. There's a manual. It's quite chunky. It's not that thin. Let's see. macOS 10 10.1 Instant Up-to-Date USA. Model is M8621LLA. And let's look at the requirements here. For installing macOS 10, you need a Power Mac G3, G4, G4 Cube. Interesting how they mention the Cube separately. Or an iMac. PowerBook G3, G4, or iBook computer. And 128 megabytes of physical memory. Can't have all of that be virtual memory. Original PowerBook G3 and processor upgrade cards not supported, unless you have ex post facto. Copyright date is 2001. So yep, pretty cool. Let's see. I'm the craziest fruit of them all. So yep, this is a pretty neat little thing to have. I know I have one that's open, but the guy had like 5 or 6 of them, so I said, well, just throw in one there. It wouldn't affect the shipping. You're about to see what affected the shipping costs. Next thing I have here is a bunch of memory. As you can see the label here, it says it's for a Power Mac G3 Beige. These are VRAM chips. Now, they say 2 megabytes. There's a little bit of conflicting information here because these are filled. This is filled, by the way. So if I open this up here, now they may as well be 2 megabytes. I think the only way I'm going to get a straight answer out of this is to put this in my machine and do a test. And they may be 4, they may be 2. It does say 8M on it. Now that might not be megabytes, that may be megabits. So this may actually be, lower than what I'm thinking it is. But there's a whole tray full of them, as you can see, very neatly packed. This I'm assuming was either part of someone's repair operation, or they had a surplus of these, or these were the old ones they pulled out of existing machines. But there's not a scratch on them, really. I mean, as well as these are preserved. I mean, yeah. So the model on here, when I Googled it, I found some on eBay that were saying they were 8 megabytes, and they weren't expensive. They were only a few dollars each or whatever. But I want to verify if these are actually, 8 megabytes or not, because if I usually think that the G3 came with like 2 megs built in, and you could add another 4 megs to update it to be 6 megs total. So I think 8 might be overkill, but again, I don't know. Again, Greg, thank you so much. Oh, we got Eep. We got a little hippo that has maybe had too much to drink. Is that you, Greg? And he's getting wrecked, as the kids say these days. And that's just a shoddily put together chair. That's the problem there. It's poor craftsmanship. It's not an alcohol problem at all. That is poor craftsmanship, plain and simple. But thank you, Greg. Thank you very much for that kind little animated emoji there. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Aaron. These are the types of VRAM sims that should work in machines like the Beige G3 or the early iMacs. So I'm very curious to see the true value of these. They are marked as 2 megabytes, but as I've learned from picking up things and thrifting and stuff like that, you can never trust the label 100%, because this might have been filled of, you know, older ones that they took out or they threw away and then they filled it with something else, or I don't know. But they all look to be the same model number, so that's going to be something I look forward to testing. All right, so what else is in the box? All right, so we had some VRAM sims. Let's make some space here, actually, because we're running out of space. There we go. Ah. All right, so we got a box here. And you can probably guess what this is by hearing the noise of it. But there's something else in here. I'm going to take that something else out first. Can anyone guess what this is just by the noise? Come on, you guys. You could guess. Wait for the chat delay to catch up with everybody. Take a drink of water while I wait. See, we got a keyboard, a puck, Apple mouse, ADB mouse. It is, in fact, a mouse. Yes, Jay's right. It's probably too new for me, but yeah. So this is an Apple ADB mouse 2. Now, I have a few of these, so I don't necessarily need one, but the price was right, and it looks like it's never been touched. It's in pretty good condition. It still has a little zip tie, twist tie rather, on the cord. I don't know if that's like factory original or whatever, but I mean, this thing is in pretty good condition. So even if it was used, it's probably just very lightly used. Yep. Yeah. I have an ADB Desktop Bus Mouse 1 signed by Woz. So not a 2, but a 1. That was a fun event. There was an Engadget recording of a show that that Engadget blog did in New York. I happened to drive in. And Steve Wozniak was going to be there, and I did not really bring anything for him to sign, because I thought I'm not going to be able to meet him up close or anything like that. And sure enough, as I'm leaving the car, I'm like, you know what, let me grab something, whether it's a business card or something for him to sign, just in case. And I had an ADB1 mouse in the back of my car, because it's me. And I brought that in, and I actually got to meet him, and he signed it, so that was really cool. But yes, I can look up the serial number of this mouse on Jay's website. Jay, why don't you paste your website link into the chat there? So for those of you who don't know, Jay, the House of Moth, has a really cool website, appleserialnumberinfo.com, I believe. He'll paste the correct link in there. My memory isn't as good as it used to be. And what you could basically do is, the sound of the website sounds like it. You could look up your serial number from devices, even like a mouse, and your computer or anything like that, any Apple desktop or laptop, and it'll give you details on the product. It'll give you the the date when it was made, manufactured. It'll give you the revision number, processor speed, all that good stuff. So there you go, appleserialnumberinfo.com. And yeah, I have to send. David says I have to send the mouse to Jay to clean. I don't think it needs much cleaning, or would be very tempted to do that. See how he handles a non-puck mouse. I don't know if Jay's DNA will allow him to do that. But yeah, that link is super handy, and it's a very accurate website. So I usually feed Jay some old serial numbers to throw a curveball at him, but so far he's been good. So that's the first thing out of the box. And the next thing is a bunch of memory. So we got a ton of memory in here. This is all SD RAM. So they're all suitable for your Power Mac G3, Power Mac G4. Yeah. So various types of memory. Some of it's like 64 megs, 128 megs. It's all assorted. It's all random. So some of it could be maybe 256 or something. I don't think I saw anything large. It's a 32 meg, so that's probably the smallest one that's in here. We got 64 meg one here, so that's not too bad. But the guy posted a boxes of few memory modules, and I said, well, if you could separate the SD RAM ones, I'd be interested in them. Here's this one just says Apple. Doesn't have a size on it. See if we can find a 128. That might be nice. You know, fill up a G3 with some 128s. Yep, here we go. Here's a 128. So PC 133. Not bad. And what else we got? And yeah, so a lot of these don't have a sticker on them. So I'm going to have to look up the numbers later on. Or easiest part with those machines is just plug them into a tower and boot it up. So yeah, got a ton of memory here. I should be good to go because I have a lot of G3, G4 towers, but a lot of them just come stripped. No memory, no hard drive or anything. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was some, I don't know where they went. Yeah, there were some of these in there, but yeah, they're not packed in anti-static packaging. I've never really had a problem with that. Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to rely on something, and they're used, so I understand there's the risk of them not working. But with probably, gosh, how many are there in here? There's probably about 30 or 40 modules in here. I bet you most of them will work. So, pretty good. All right, cool. So we got that stuff out of the way. Now there are 3 more items in the box. Let's make some space. You can see why this box was so heavy to ship. Okay. Now, this is pretty cool. This is an accessory kit that is still sealed in the packaging for an Apple LaserWriter 2 printer. So it's just looks like a pretty plain box here. It is sealed, which is pretty cool. And this has a copyright date on the back of 1991. So again, another sealed box. I'll probably be unboxing one of these days. But what is in here is essentially, it's not, I don't think it's too exciting, but it's essentially a set of install discs and a manual for the LaserWriter 2. Also compatible with the LaserWriter, I think there's like a 2, there's a few models of the 2, and this basically was the accessory kit for those models. So, yep, pretty neat. Probably just a bunch of discs and some manuals. Nothing too crazy, but I'm like, you know what? It's not every day you see like sealed stuff like this, so figured I'd pick that up. Raw Element says, I have an Apple dot matrix printer. I do as well. I have an Apple ImageWriter, and then I have an ImageWriter 2, which are pretty neat. Now, there are some of those earlier printers that Apple made, like the Daisy Wheel and stuff like that. Those would be interesting to have. I don't have any of those. Yeah, yours might be the first gen of the ImageWriter, or maybe an earlier model that they made. The ImageWriter 2 is a very reliable printer. I had some trouble, as most of you saw from my stream, with the original ImageWriter. But, yeah, I ended up getting that to work eventually. But, okay, so that is out of the box there. And let me put this stuff down because I'm going to need some room for our next guest here. Okay, now, these are a little deceiving. Hey, Greg, welcome to the party. That's always good when people rescue things from a school. I'm just going to toss them out anyway, so let's move this box out of the way. Now, when I saw this, I got very, very excited. And then I was like, oh, okay. So you'll probably have the same reaction to me. Let me bring the camera a little bit closer here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Alright, so I'm going to open this box. You're probably going to have a reaction, an initial reaction. And you're going to be like, oh, okay. Alright, so let's open this box. Some guesses already of what it may be. Open it slowly to build the tension. What could it be? What could it be? It is a keyboard. How about that? It is a brand new in-box keyboard. How about that? Isn't that cool? Now, I'll give you a second here to identify the keyboard. I'll give you some time to make some guesses there of what this keyboard actually is. Ah, there you go. There you go. Scarlet Swordfish got it. So this looks like an Apple Extended Keyboard 2. It looks very, very close to it. But, key takeaways here. What is missing? What is missing? What is missing on this keyboard that you do not see that would be on the Apple Extended Keyboard 2? The Apple Extended Keyboard 2. What is missing here? It's an easy one. It's a very easy one. That's right, Greg. The Apple logo. There is no Apple logo in the top left corner, and there is no Apple logo on the command keys here. Yeah, so this is actually made by Mac Alley. So this is a Mac Alley keyboard. This is obviously designed to imitate the Apple Extended Keyboard. The power button is not broken. It's just sunken in. That's just how they designed it for whatever reason. But this thing is brand new. When I first saw the photo of it, I was like, oh my gosh, is that a sealed Apple Extended 2 keyboard? Yeah, I'm going to buy it. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. That's not an Apple Extended 2 keyboard. The giveaway is, of course, the non-Apple logo and this pushed-in startup key, which does work. It does go down there. It's just not exactly like Apple's one. So this is a clone of it, obviously, or a knockoff, whatever you want to call it. This is called the MK105. So the Mac Alley MK105X. So a 105 key keyboard. And it has two ADB ports, just like the original. One on the left, one on the right. They do have the little pegs here. So you can put the same overlay over the function keys. Now, Apple's keyboards were expensive back in the day, so this is not a bad option, I guess. The keys, as you can hear, or not hear, they're very mushy. They're not, the Apple Extended Keyboard 2 clickety-key quality here. They're very mushy, very mushy. Now, if you saw my garage stream a few weeks ago, I found a very similar, another clone by, I think it was Microsystems or Microelectronics or something like that, that had another one of these that was actually quite clicky. But no, this is just your cheapo, domes instead of those nice clickety switches. But what is nice is in the box we do have, since this was pretty much new, and this confirms it, we have a brand new ADB cable. So how about that? Nice curly ADB cable with your little ADB symbol on there. But we do have an ADB port on the left and the right. Let's see, does the caps lock key latch down? No, it does not. It does not. So that, again, another giveaway there. Caps lock key does not do anything. So that's a bit annoying, but you do have the light up there. The other giveaway here is Apple's Extended Keyboards had black text here, and this is just molded right into the plastic. Maybe as a cost-saving measure, I don't know. Same thing up here. You might be able to see it, the undo, cut, copy, paste text right below the first four function keys. So, yeah. How far does the reset key go? Well, it's a bit hard to see. Let's see if we get that into focus here. So here's the key. Goes down a fair amount. It starts at the baseline here. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're just used to it being popped up. But actually, you think about it, you don't want a kid coming up and pushing this or whatever. So, it's flush here. I actually don't hate it. It's actually an interesting alternative there. Kind of like just a recessed key. That's all. So, not bad. So, I do have an Apple Extended Keyboard 2 here somewhere. I did a stream on one not long ago. Oh, it's over there. Let me go grab one. Okay, so we can actually do a proper comparison here, because here is the Apple one, but you can see it looks very, very similar. Okay, so this is the official Apple Extended Keyboard 2. Let's see, family number of M3501. So that's that. Very pleasing noises. Very clicky. And here is the Mac. Oops, sorry. And here's the Mac Alley one. So, very similar. This one's a little bit taller. The Apple one's a little bit taller. So the case isn't an exact match. And this is, Mac Alley one is like probably a millimeter smaller as the width goes. But it's going to be hard to get more of these things on the desk here. Here's the keyboard from my garage stream that also looked very much like an extended keyboard. This is more clicky. I think half of this is like fake. I don't think this is like the real deal here, but this was made by Micro Warehouse Incorporated. So Micro Warehouse, model number Power User 105. So this is probably the keyboard that you got from, was it PC Warehouse, Mac Warehouse, probably one of those places. I think Micro Warehouse was their parent company name. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just a similar name. But yeah, so this is another clone keyboard. Kind of a mix between this and the Apple Design keyboard, which is interesting. Sorry, just catch up with the comments. Let's see, how far do reset key go? Answered that. Let's see. I don't think it's possible to swap parts. What do the feet look like on the Mac Alley one? No, there are no feet on the Mac Alley one. So this here has no feet whatsoever, except the standard feet. What I meant is, so the let's show you the back of this. So this has this lever mechanism. That mine is sort of stuck here, so I'm not going to pull it down. But you slide this across here, and a little adjustable foot comes down. You can sort of see it trying to come down here. We're not going to break that. But the Mac Alley one just has your standard flip-up keyboard notches there, so you can have the keyboard raised a bit higher from the desk. And then we have the Micro Warehouse one. Very light feeling. No way to adjust it at all. Just these rubber feet here. That's about it. So, an interesting little comparison. I might do a standalone video, probably a very short one, of just me playing around with the keyboard. Alright, Raw Elements, thank you for joining while you could. You can always catch the replay later. So, yeah, we've been here for 40 minutes. We're just about to finish up with the unboxing stuff. Move on to us tinkering around. So let me actually, before I forget, can't even see things anymore here. There we go. All right. Yeah, so very much looked like an Apple extended keyboard too. In fact, it was not. So, all right. So let's move on. I have two more little things to show. Let's. I can just slide this back here for a second here. There we go. Yeah, I think the micro one isn't too bad. I do have one of those tools that will let you pull out the keys safely. So I may do that, or rather I will be doing that in some type of a video upcoming soon, because I do want to compare them. I'm very curious. Whoop. Okay, so the next item I have here, if you watched the MacYak podcast, you probably saw it already. But either way, you'll be seeing it in an upcoming video. But let's share it with you guys now. If I get it out of the box, it's very, very well packed and perfectly packed in this box that fits it almost too perfectly. But you know what? I'm all for recycling. Ugh, if I could get the darn thing out. So you start praising things and then they fail you. There we go. Okay. So this is a little circuit board. And very simple board, just a two-sided board. And what this actually is for, this is developed by a company called Orange Micro. They used to make a lot of cool stuff. What this does, I have it upside down, is actually a memory buffer for an image writer to printer. And so they called this ImageWare, they called this image buffer rather. There's a few different names this thing went by. And what this essentially allows you to do is add a memory buffer to your image writer printer. Now this was actually more important on the Apple II series of machines, not really the Macintosh, because the Apple II would have to sort of freeze while it was sending data to the printer. The printer only had a limited amount of memory. So if you were printing a bunch of pages, that printer would have to wait for information from the computer, and then continue printing. So what this does is these little memory chips here, you have two that are built in right here. And what this does, it allows you to accept information from the computer, and it stores it in this extended memory card. So that allows you to print more things to your printer from your Apple computer without having to wait so much. You could go ahead and do a different program, you know, open up something else, etc., multitask, without waiting for this thing. Now, I did get, is it down here? I probably forgot to bring it down. Yeah, I think I forgot to do that. Let me just check if it's in this box. Please ignore the noises. No, I forgot to bring it down. I actually did order 2 more chips, because these are 2 sockets here that are empty. And what you were encouraged to do back in the days, if you wanted to, you could buy 2 more memory chips. Each are 32 kilobytes each. And you could put them on the board, and you could extend it up to 128 kilobytes. So I will definitely be playing around with this more. I know some of you don't enjoy the image writer printer as much as I do. But you know what? I might do a stream about it, and we'll see how much of a difference this thing makes. But I think it'll be pretty cool. This on the text here says image buffer version 1.1, a copyright date of 1985. So that's shortly after the image writer 2 came out on the market. And this plugs into the image writer via this little connector here. And this is the same connector that is used for the Apple Talk or Local Talk option for that image writer 2 printer. So you could only really plug in one of these cards at once, unfortunately. Apparently, there were some cards that allowed you to do Apple Talking and a memory buffer. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those, but yeah. So that's what this is. That's pretty neat. Hey, Classic Mac, thanks for joining. And what is also cool is it came with the manual here. Now, I saw some pictures of the manual online. This is not too many pages. There's about, see if there's page numbers on here. It's about 10 pages of information. But what's cool is this came with 2 goodies. It came with an addendum. So this is a piece of information, a piece of text rather, you know, a little document, that basically tells you what they missed in the manual, what they messed up, corrections. And then there's a little registration card. I always love looking at these things. So this is an orange micro registration card, and asks you about you know, what type of a device this was. They made multiple devices, and you know, where you purchased it from, etc. So pretty cool. So we have a question. What's the oldest Mac you have? The oldest Mac I have is the 128K Macintosh. Although it is not stock, somebody did upgrade it to a a Macintosh Plus with 4 megabytes of memory. So it does have some upgrades in it. So it's not, you know, a stock 128K, but it is the oldest Mac that I do have, which is the first one. So how about that? So yep, that's what I had to unbox for you now. Oh wait, there's one more little thing. It's not really in a box. But I did not show it to you guys before. This is the one last thing I'm going to show you guys. We'll be getting to that. Didn't do any testing yet. And what I have here is a curious looking device here. Let's see if you guys could guess what this is. Let's see how good you guys are. We have some metal. We have some circuitry. Kind of looks like an adapter of some kind. If you can't guess what it is, you can guess maybe what the machine that it's supposed to go in. Give you a little bit of a closer look there. You have one capacitor that it looks like it may need to be replaced. But I did test this and it did work okay. Not a zip riser, think older. This is actually something that was released by Apple. It's not a third-party thing. That's alright, Nolan. We were just unboxing something. This is the last item we're looking at today. So what this actually is this is a NuBus card adapter for the Macintosh 2 SI. So what this does is it takes a PDS connector on the bottom, and then you have a NUBUS slot here. And there's also another thing that's on here. There's actually a math coprocessor on here as well, right here. There's a 68888-2 processor on there. So not only does this allow your Macintosh 2SI to read and use, a NUBUS card that you would plug in through here, and it would angle that, because the Macintosh 2SI is a very short machine, so it allows you to have a card that is angled. In fact, we have one here. So if you have a Macintosh 2SI and you were trying to plug in a regular NUBUS card slot, not only it won't fit because the PDS slot is different from the NUBUS card slot, even though they look similar, you would need to angle it differently. So this card, it's a little tricky to get this network card in there because of the big BNC connector on there, but you essentially plug the card in like so, and so this part over here plugs into the Macintosh 2SI, and it sits like this, and you have your networking card or whatever you want to plug in sticking out of there. So yeah, they did make a very similar one for the 6100 series, but that slot was a little different, so it can't use this card there. But I think they did a similar one for the PC card, PC compatible card on the Quadra Centris 610 series, I think it was. So yeah, so I have a 2SI. I think I actually used this to tinker around with a little bit. It did recognize the card, so that was good progress. There is a 47 microfarad 16 volt capacitor, one of those prone to leakage capacitors right here on the board. So I might just replace that just for the heck of it. There's only one of those there, thankfully. So don't have to go on a huge recapping spree there. But yep, just wanted to show off that to you. That's a nice little thing there. Didn't the 2SI and the SE30 use the same slot and cards? I always get this mixed up because I do not own an SE30. I only own a regular SE. There is some compatibility between the SE cards. I believe it may be what you're saying, Aaron, because the SE and the SE30 have different PDS slots. But I think the pinout on the PDS slot with the 2SI is compatible with maybe one of them. It might be the SE30. Someone who's more familiar on that will chime in. I always mix that up because I do not own an SE30. I just have the standard Mac SE. Just take this card off. There we go. I'm going to put this over there as well. Okay, so that's the unboxing part of this video. Now we're going to get to some testing, which is going to make me a little nervous because things I have to test today are a little bulky, and I hope they don't go sparkety spark or explode. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to clear these keyboards off the desk here. I have to make some room so I can bring them in. So give me like 5 seconds or so. 5 seconds. Not 5 minutes, but give me like 2 minutes or so. Let me clean up this stuff, and then we're going to put some stuff on the desk, and we'll be doing some unboxing there. So let's just clean up some stuff here, and we'll get right back to it. Okay, are you ready to see the first item we are going to test today? Is a big one. And I think they're just going to get bigger from here. So, ah boy. Jeez. Oh boy. That's right, we got ourselves an eMac. Now let me and Mike Stanhope tell you something about eMacs. These are heavy. And they're not only heavy, they are not very well balanced the way they were produced. Because you pick one of these things up and it's a little front heavy. Yes. Oh boy. This is quite a big boy. And not in too bad shape. Must say so myself. No, it's not too yellowed. Let's see if we could read the serial number here. Yes, we can. We'll get into that in a second. Let me get a power cord. In fact, I have one for an iMac here. I think the eMac will use the same port there. Yes, it does. Okay, so we can plug that in. There's a little dust and stuff there. Let me get a keyboard and a mouse if this thing actually does turn on. Okay, we have an Apple keyboard. Now let's finish what we got here, and we have an Apple mouse over here. Yeah, I wouldn't advise shipping these. 9 times out of 10, your local recycling center is probably happy to let you take these for probably a song and a dance. Oh boy, let's see. Yeah, they are pretty neat. Honestly, for this particular one, I bought it when I was buying a bunch of other goodies. And I overpaid for this. I really did. I didn't really want it. But the guy was sort of insistent that I buy this if I was to get another machine, which I will be showing very shortly. So I overpaid a little bit for this. But you know what? Let's plug it in. And I'll show you exactly why I overpaid for this. Of course, the little plastic just fell off, but whatever. Yeah, this thing has a deep screen there. So let's plug this in. The USB port where? Yes, I'm just putting it in backwards. Alright, I have a bunch of boxes for the tilt and swivel stands, I'll tell you that much. When our high school set them up, they ended up throwing away all the boxes. I took a few. Alright, I know the answer to this. This is the only machine I've attempted to turn on so far today. The other ones I'll be showing you I have not. So I know the answer to this. What do you guys think this will boot up? What do you guys think? Well, let's... yeah, they do look a little silly without the stand. Yeah, but the displays are pretty good. So, you know what? Let's turn this guy on. Let's stand back in case it becomes unhappy. Try that again. Oh. There we go. Here, the hard drive is starting to spin. Hey, Trina. Oh, wait. There we go. So, you might be able to see a bit of a problem with this particular eMac. Let me know if you have any guesses of what could be potentially the issue with this poor little thing. You didn't miss too much. You only missed about an hour. We were unboxing some stuff. This is the first Mac we're testing, Trina. Yeah, now it's quite visible there. Yeah. So, while the display functions, let's get a bit closer here. Yeah, I'm if I were a betting man, I would guess exactly what Aaron is saying. It looks like someone took a magnet to the top of this, unfortunately. So you could see some of these little rainbow patterns here of where someone took a magnet to it. And unfortunately, that has messed up the color to a significant area of this machine, because you can see that spotlight icon is usually blue, and that is red. Actually, that might be a system change. Somebody must have messed with that, because the color wheel looks okay. But there's just weird hues at the top. You know, someone obviously took a magnet closer to this thing. Now, these do have a built-in degaussing coil. When the machine boots up, it does degauss itself. However, I don't think it may be enough for this system. So what I actually have is one of those old-fashioned degaussing wands. And I will be messing around with that at one point, see if that'll make a difference. It may not. Who knows? But, yeah, the power button is on the side, along with the ports and everything. So everything's on one side. Even the headphone jacks are on one side. So the hard drive is probably a little tired on this one. Alright, so, yes, our PRAM battery is dead. That's okay. It's a very sharp display here. And it's trying to connect to some server. Likely from a school network or something. Yeah, there are some games, for someone who asked earlier, can you game on an eMac? Depending on the model, there are some games you could run as long as they're PowerPC games or Universal Binary games. There are some that won't run too bad on the eMac. Now, I've tried to play Unreal Tournament 2004 on medium-ish settings, and it was getting like 8 frames a second. If you have one that is the top of the line, I mean, these were budget models, let's be honest. These were budget models. They were sold for educational purposes only. 6 months or so after they were selling them in educational institutions, people wanted them so bad, Apple sold them to the public. But these were, the cheaper option. It was between the G3 iMac, the eMac, and the iMac G4, and this was the middle of the road. And it's still bouncing that Firefox icon, so this thing is chugging along. So yeah, this machine, this CRT has seen better days. The only reason I picked this up again was it was a package deal with an iMac G4, and I wanted the iMac G4 much more than I wanted this thing. Yeah, sorry, there's going to be a bit of flicker until I change the resolution here. Let me try and do that now. Oh, that could be. I've just never seen a red spotlight icon like that before. And we'll look at the specs here. Let's bring this down to 1024 by 768. That's not too bad. I mean, we're going to get a flicker. It can't sync to 60 Hertz on that resolution, I don't think. Let's see the specs of this machine. So this is a 1.25 gigahertz G4 with a gigabyte of memory. And if we pull down our little key here, we see, this is a trick here. You just pull down the little CD tray here, and we see this is a 1.25 gigahertz model. Originally came with 256 megabytes of memory. If this will focus, maybe. Yeah, I'll just read it out. Originally came with a 40 gig hard drive. Has a combo drive, so that means it could read DVDs and burn CDs. 56K modem, etc. So let's see if this hard drive is original. And go to ATA bus. And we have an 80 gig hard drive. So the hard drive might have been replaced because according to this, this says it's supposed to be a 40 gig hard drive in here. So hard drive was definitely replaced at some point in time. And maybe they used a magnetized screwdriver to open it and they messed up the CRT. Who knows? Who knows? If I were to pick a computer to use in 2012 as my main computer, I would not necessarily pick an eMac. There are much better PowerPC systems I would probably choose. But this is running Tiger, so this is 10.4.11. And besides the CRT issue and the slow hard drive, it actually works out pretty fine. Let me see if there's any games on here to run. Yeah, you could sort of let me put something. You could sort of see the weird pattern that's going out there. So yeah. All right, so let me just see if there's any apps on here. Looks like they might have. I mean, there's some stuff on here, but it looks like they might have cleaned it off. Let's see. We got the Adobe Suite, Dreamweaver, back when it was still owned by Macromedia. Let's see if there's anything exciting on here. Bunch of design apps. Bruce, make sure your dock. You could add some of this to your dock there. This CS2, CS3. Let's see. Epson Scan, iPhoto, Dreamweaver, Mac Store One Touch Backup. Yep, no, not really any games or anything. It was probably used as a design machine. But this was actually from someone that was not local. This was not a local recycler. I'm going to get to that machine next. But this one does work. So not too bad. Yes, unfortunately the CRT has a bit of an issue. We might be able to do a little something with that. But again, not a bad machine. What I am going to do, I think there's a startup item here set for Firefox. We're going to see if we can turn that off. Yes. And Adobe Resource Synchronization, Art Director's Toolkit, Extension Suitcase, Quicksilver, Adobe Resource, yeah, all this stuff we are removing. Some of them are not letting me remove it, but yeah, we don't want any of this to try and start up. Alright, so we're going to shut this down, but hey, that didn't work out too badly. Oh, I'm going to be out of breath dragging this thing back to the other side of the basement, but so that is the first machine we tested today. Yeah, you can really see the colors. Ooh, jeez. All right. So that is that eMac. And I think it's a bit of a curse because I've always joked with the MacGat guys and Mike Stanhope that, I don't need or want any more eMacs. And I always end up with them anyway. So, yeah. Oh, okay, so just a little confusion. The thumbnail I used had an iMac G3 color to it. We're not unboxing an iMac G3. The unboxing was unboxing of stuff I got, and now we're just testing things. So there's no real relation to it. It was just a thumbnail that I had. I didn't have time to take a photo with my phone and do a fancy thumbnail. It was just one I had prepared. So sorry to be a letdown if you were expecting an iMac G3. There is something Blueberry. We'll get to that. But let me put this back first. Trina says, my local recycler brings stuff to me. Oh, that's cool. He's a guy that finds older PCs mostly and brings it to me. That's a very nice relationship to have. And I'll be talking about that in a moment. Let me bring this out of the way. Let me mute my mic so you can't hear me stub my toe on things. I'll be right back. Okay, so, oh boy, we got something here I picked up in February from my friend Vlad from Chase Recycling, and I'll be putting a link in the chat there to the website, because if you are in the Northeast area, the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, there is a cool recycling guy, and he has a great little location and a great setup there. And you could find things just like this there. Ah, boy. And this is another eMac. I have not tested this one yet. It is very dusty. Yes, I do need hold music. Anyone who wants to give me hold music, I will happily use it. And this one has a stand. And the stand, unfortunately, has a little rubber thing that's kind of busted there, so I can't really adjust it all too much. But surprise, it's another eMac. Let's see if we could. It's very wobbly because it's sort of tilted all the way to the front here. Let's try and adjust this a bit. Yeah, this is not too bad. But yes, another eMac. Yes, I know you're all very shocked and surprised. I have no idea if this one works. I'd love to tell you the model number, but unfortunately, or the specs or anything, but I have no idea. Excuse me, I have no idea because the label is ripped off there. So, it's as much of a mystery as it is to me. First off, a heck of a lot of dust on this thing. I'm going to give this a quick clean here. Not by any stretch of the imagination the best cleaning. We're just literally getting some of the dirt off the front of this. I will have to do a deeper cleaning of this thing because... Alright, Jay, see you later. This thing might explode, so if it does, you are missing it. But... Ugh. Alright, so I have no idea if this thing works, if this is going to turn on, if it's going to cause me a power surge. Hopefully it doesn't, but if I go offline, you will know why. So, let's plug this guy in. Okay. Got our keyboard. It's like dirt everywhere on this thing. Alright, there's just dirt all over my desk now from this thing. Alright, I really hope this doesn't explode. I am setting my chair farther away. And I am holding on to the power strip. Alright, who bets if this thing is going to work? I honestly, truly have no clue. It could work, it could not. So, place your bets. And, yeah, do you guys think it's going to turn on? Do you think it's going to work? It's going to have a CRT problem? It's going to boot right up? It's going to chime? It's going to SADMAC? What do you think it's going to do? I'm hopeful. I think it may work, but Trina's a betting person. All right, I'm going to try and be optimistic here. I'm going to say it works. Turn on the power strip. And let's push that button. Where is that button? I hear the CRT. I see the light flashing. Well, it's on. Oh, there we go. We got an image. Hey, look at that. It didn't chime, though. Seems to be booting right up. Actually. I'm cautiously optimistic. This thing is booting much quicker than the other one, I can tell you that. Ah! I am so curious of the specs of this one. And I don't have ALJ TV Studio. Well, I don't think these all have passwords on them. Well, there's a solution to that. That's right, Aaron. You read my mind. So I'm going to reboot this in single user mode. And we're going to be restarting this here. 1 second. Nope. Probably typed it in incorrectly. Yes, it did. Alright. Okay, so we want to this base bar does not really work. There we go. Alright. So now we're going to reboot. Single user mode is accomplished by holding down the Apple key and the S key as soon as the machine turns on. Now we'll boot it into single user mode, and we're taking advantage of that to remove a file called .applesetupdone, which is located in one of the root directories there. And what that will do is it will prompt the machine to think that it never went through the initial user setup in macOS 10. And you'll probably be greeted to the intro music here, if it obliges us. Yep, I can hear the hard drive accessing the video that's on there. There we go. Let's hope we don't get any content matches. So this indeed is macOS 10 10.3 Panther. Yep. Sweet. Yeah, besides being dirty, this machine isn't bad, actually. Yes, those of you who guessed Panther were correct. We're going to just sign in as best we can. Go to Steve, Mac84, 123 Fake Street. Let's see, Old Town, let's say New Jersey. Really? You're gonna yell at me because the area code is not real? Are you kidding me? Come on, just let me. It's smart enough to like really know. There we go. Jeez. Come on, Apple. I just created a new account. I didn't reset the password. This is easier to me, at least, because you could just, this is now an admin. So, password, just to make it easy here. We are now an admin account. I could just go in and delete everything now, if I wanted to. Let's pick the little parrot. Oh, Aaron, sorry about that. Yes, let's sign up for a free Earthlink trial. Let's register later. We're not connected to the internet. And done. Alright, so let's see what model of eMac this is. I think the fastest one they made was the 1.25 gigahertz, Jordan. I don't think they made anything faster than that. I could be wrong. I could be. 1 second. 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 1 sec Okay, so what model do you think this is? Hey, Ricardo. Thank you to you for joining the stream here. So we're testing out some things. This is the second eMac we tested out. It actually works. I'm very curious of which model this is. So let's check that out. Oh, it's a 1 gigahertz model. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. So the other one we tested out was a 1.25 gigahertz model. The 1.25 gigahertz model, I believe. I'm sorry. Wait, actually, no. They did make a 142. I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you for correcting me. They did make a 142. The one before the 142 was the 125, the USB 2.0 one. That's the one I just had on the desk. And this one is probably the 2003 model, I think, because it's only the 1 gigahertz one. Let me go to more info here. And let's see. Let me bring up. Let's see. This is a CPU type PowerPC G4. And does it give us any more information? Let's look at the graphics. That might help us narrow it down. Let's see. Got a AGP 32 meg. Does it tell us the type of the card? It does not. I'm going to guess. Let's look at the optical drive here. See if that'll give us any clues. The DVD-ROM drive, so it's an Apple DVD reader drive. I'm gonna guess this is like the. I'm trying to look up the graphics card that's shipped with the two different models here. Yeah, it's either the ATI Radeon 7500. Yeah, that must be it. The ATI Radeon 7500. That's the only card that would have shipped in this model. But it's all integrated, but it's not bad. Yeah, I don't know if the CD drive works. Let's try and eject it. That is dusty. That is dusty. Do we have a CD we don't necessarily care about to test? Maybe. Let's see. Oh, we got some discs here. Yeah, I don't know if this has USB 2 ports or not. Let's check. USB plus. No, yeah, this is the older one. This is not the USB 2 one. All right, well, this is good thinking there. So this is USB 1.1. They did have a 2.0 model that came out after this, but Apple was so slow to get USB 2.0. It's insane. So this model is the older one. So let's we have just put iMovie in here. It's caked. It's caked, Bruce. But I get a modem. Yes, there is a dial-up modem in here, so. Alright, so it reads CDs perfectly. That's not bad. Yeah, we're not going to install iMovie 2, because actually, curious what we got on here. So there is the classic environment on here. That's good. But these can't natively run 9 without like the macOS 9 Lives disk. The application system profiler has unexpectedly quit. Oh boy. Yeah, so we can run classic if there's a folder. Let's see if it finds a folder. Nope, no classic folder. All right, well, we don't have classic on there. We could install it if we wanted to. It's just not on here. It's just not on here. And let me just pull up a website here. I just want to make sure I get the URL correctly. So, what's nice is my friend Vlad, who does a lot of recycling and stuff. He has a website, chaserecycling.net. That's CHASE recycling.net. And what's very nice is he helps me, give me a heads up when he finds cool things like this. And in turn, I'd like to just give him a little shout out, a little promotion for his little business there. So they're located in New York. If you go to the website, chaserecycling.net, and I'll put a link in the chat there. What's nice is they have some phone numbers and stuff. You can contact them, and if you're looking for something specifically, you could give them a call. You could show up. They have a big warehouse. Plenty of things, Macs, PCs, parts, printers, all this stuff. They post on Facebook what they find. I know a lot of you are not local at all, but just in case you're passing by the area, in case you know anybody, they're very fair with what they have, and they always, are very honest of, what they got, what works, what's for parts, etc. So this is where that came from. I'm happy that this thing boots up. It is the 1 gigahertz USB 1 model for those of you who missed it. But again, I got this from my friend Vlad at his little company, chaserecycling.net. So go to that website, and I'll slowly type that in here as I hit the microphone, and cause all sorts of noises. There we go. Hi, Jordan. Yep. Thank you for the creepy sticker. All creepy stickers are appreciated. Yeah, let's see if there's... I'm not going to really open files on here, but I am curious. This did say it was from a TV production company. So, Advanced TV. And we have to make some changes to the permissions here. You can't really see this. Let me see if I can adjust the resolution here. Let's see if we go to 800 by 600. That's just gonna make it a little worse, I think. But what I will do is I will change the permissions of this folder briefly, just very quickly. Takes only a second, because I'm an admin now, and I could say the owner is me. And it's going to apply to the folders inside. And I don't really care if their permissions are screwed up, because it's just a bunch of files. And usually that does the trick. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to do it again. So I can read and write. Apply to enclosed folders. Yes. Now in Tiger this works instantly. I don't know if I have to relaunch the Finder, but I will do that anyway. Still doesn't want me to do it. Alright, that's strange. Let me see if I have to do them individually. Not really 100% used to Panther. Yes, I was able to find out the specs. So this is a 1 gigahertz PowerPC G4 with 512 megabytes of memory. And this means that only one of our memory slots is full. So we could put in some additional memory into this thing. It's really not liking me making changes to these folders. Let's try another one here. You know what? This is easier if I just... Well, first off, let me put the permissions back before it messes up here. And let's just change the password. We can change the password. Oh, yes, I do have a mouse pad. Sorry if the scratch noise is driving anybody's animals crazy. There. Nice mouse pad. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Alright, so let's get back to this really quick. I'm just going to click on this. I'm just going to change all the passwords. Password. Very secure. I'm curious. Let's log out. Oh, all right. Again, would be much improved when I get the gift from David. Sorry about that. There we go. Ooh, tropical background. Alright, our clock battery is dead. That's okay. We got 23 gigabytes of memory here. Oh, we have Final Cut Pro installed. How about that? Looks like this is a 60 gig hard drive. And we're pretty stock on applications, except we have Final Cut Pro and we have iDVD. Looks like most of the media has been stripped from this machine. So at least in this user profile, there's not too much in here. There's some very dark images, out of focus images. Oh, thank you, David. So yes, maybe we'll do a live stream soon then, with the new microphone. Here are some, looks like stock imagery, and certificates or banners and stuff like that. Nothing too exciting. Let me just log into the other user profile. Okay, that dates it. Scooby-Doo, be kind of afraid, June 14th, 2002. So that dates this. We have a link to GarageBand. We got a few Final Cut projects. Puppetry Show DVD project. Oh boy. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but there's quite a lot of video projects on here. Baby pictures. I'll probably end up just wiping this stuff because I don't need a bunch of people's crap on my computer. But, geez, let's see. They had 8 gigs of video projects here. So, yeah, let's see what's on the other profile. Oh, nope, that's me. Oops. So this was in some sort of editing place or studio or whatever, if the names are to be believed here. We got some media here. Someone renamed this folder. Someone renamed this folder to ha 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 ha. Very, very professional, of course. Let's see if there's anything on this machine. Somebody named the text file ass. Yeah, very, very, very mature. Okay, so, yep, this machine works. Again, 1 gigahertz eMac. Not bad. 512 megabytes of memory. It's very responsive, actually. I wonder if the original hard drive is in here. My system profiler doesn't want to open up right now. That's not good. You do not have permission to open the system profiler application. Okay. I'm just curious if the original hard drive is still in here. So if I look this up, this model came with. Let's make sure I'm not looking at the USB 2 model. Yeah, this is the USB 1.0 model. This would have came with originally. Sorry, just looking it up here. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Ah, doesn't say. I'm going to guess either like a 40 or a 60. Okay, Ricardo says a 40 or an 80. So let's see how big the hard drive is. We got 60. Okay, we've got a 60 gig hard drive. Alright, so not bad. Alright, cool. So this works. This is 60 gigabyte of hard drive space. Not bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this machine down. And we're going to probably bring our next and final item on the bench here. And this one I'm I'm sure Jay would like. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, they might have replaced the hard drive. Who knows? Especially if this was like in a... Ooh, there's a spider. Just a wee little spider. That must have came out of the iMac. Or eMac. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Well, we're gonna not hurt you. We're just gonna... You're a jumping spider. We're gonna get a little cup. We're gonna capture him. We're gonna put him outside. Oh, and he's climbing up the paper towel roll. How about that? You just missed a working eMac, and now there's a spider on the desk. We're trying to coax out of the recording area. Where's a cup when I need it? I do not have a cup. Huh. We have a conundrum. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of spiders either, but we have a little cup here. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's the jumping type. There we go. Alright, so I got him in here. I'm just going to bring him outside. I'll be right back. Make sure I actually got him. Yep. Be right back. Alright, the spider is now outside. The spider's like, whoa! The CRT is actually turned on. That's the thing that you got to be careful of. You don't know where these things have been. And this has been sitting on my shelf since February, so yeah, there could be more spiders in there. This thing is really dusty, as we saw before, but look at that. That's very dusty. Yeah, it does. It does look like a jet engine. You have this turbine in the back of it, type of thing. But look how deep that is. That's oh boy, that's a big boy. So this does have the stand, which makes it a little easier to move around, but it doesn't really help with the weight. It's still very heavy. All right, so I'm going to put this on the shelf, and I'm going to go grab the last item we're going to look at today. Okay. Alright. Last item here is also very heavy. Oh boy, let me catch my breath. Yep, those are always good projects. Yes, that's my mini stack. Little Tower Mac minis there. We got a 2010. Then we got a Core Duo, not a Core 2 Duo, original Core Duo from 2006. Then we got a 1.4 gigahertz G4 and a 1.5 gigahertz G4. So I think it's like the 142 and the 150. So, okay. So, this last item, move this keyboard here. Sort of see a trend of me testing things today. Oh boy. So this is the one I'm most concerned about. This is, off to a good start. This is an Apple Blueberry Studio display. This is a 17-inch model. It is quite huge, quite heavy. And I'm debating if I should even plug this in. Because if I look through here, I don't know if I'm seeing... I definitely see some dust. I don't know if water ever got into this or what. But, I mean, again, you never know. Hey, Dana. You never know. You never know the condition of these things. Unfortunately, since this thing was at a recycling center and was probably tossed around, there are some scratches in the glass. That is not easy to do. But, here we are. But, I'm a glutton for punishment. So, ooh! Well, we have to fix that. We're not going to be... We're not going to be able to help do that. Do anything with this display until we fix that. Yes. Oh boy, I already regret taking this off the shelf. Oh boy, let's sit down for this one. This is gonna need some careful attention here. Where are my my tweezers I just had? I was tinkering around with some stuff the other day. I have the horrible habit of not cleaning up after myself. The cable is connected onto the machine itself, so I simply cannot, unfortunately, just take the cable off. Alright, so I do have a pair of pliers, Dana. Let's hope there's not a nest. There's still dust from that eMac on the desk, but alright, let's see if I can ever so gently I'm just pushing against the metal ceiling here. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I hope it doesn't explode on my desk. That's really what I'm hoping for here. I don't need any that much excitement in my life. So I'm just using a little screwdriver again just to gently bend the metal shielding out to where it sort of should be. Some of these pins are moved in too, so it's going to be a bit of a trick to make sure these are all actually, okay. Well, I told Jay I was testing this, so if he comes back to the chat, Dana, and sees that, I'm sorry. But if he had to go, He probably had a very good reason. So, all right. So again, I'm just trying to push this metal shielding out. Right, let's see if I have an adapter here, just to see if it fits in a plug. Nope. Still needs some work. This is the exciting world of used computers. That's why you always inspect things, always ask questions, etc. Now this was, again, a very generous deal that I got from my friend Vlad from chaserecycling.net. He has a location not too far away in New York. There we go. And this was a nice little gift he gave me. And it is scratched up, but it's, it's not in too bad of a condition. And we do have our little VGA cord that seems to be working correctly. Now, I guess we need a machine to plug this into. I guess I could plug in our Mac Mini. Let's see if that'll actually work here. What I want to do is plug this in. Just be careful, because all these are plugged in to each other. Okay. So the Mac Minis all have DVI connections on it. So, does that use a VGA connector, or does it use Apple's old DB15? Nope, this is VGA. All the CRT studio displays that were Blueberry and Graphite used VGA, and the CRT ones. And then the last CRT they made was actually an ADC connector. But yeah, it's all right. So we're plugging in this DVI adapter, and oh boy, I'm not looking forward to turning this monitor on. I could tell you that. I'm gonna use this extension cord. Which will not fit. Let me get another one. Yes, it did, Grudy. It used analog VGA pins, unfortunately. So there's real no difference between them except the case. One moment, I'm just looking for an extension cord here, so if I have to pull the plug, I could do fairly gracefully. Fairly. Alright, here we go. Alrighty. Well, if this explodes, you will see me running away and screaming like a little girl. So fair warning in advance if you wanted to pretend I am some sort of immortal being. I am not. Alright. So, power supply, power strip is off. It is plugged in. I'm going to put the microphone close to the display in case it makes any explosion noises. And what do you guys think? Hold on to your butts. You guys think this is going to turn on? Is it going to work? Is it going to explode? Is it going to send 1500 volts to my poor little Mac Mini there and explode it? We shall see. Whoa, that turned on right away without me pushing that button. We got a green light, but it turned on by itself. Alright, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so we got no image on the monitor. However, it could be that Mac Mini was turned on, which it was, without a video plug in it. And if that's the case, sometimes those Macs are not too happy about accepting a video signal after it's been turned on. So let's see. Let's plug our mouse back into our Mac Mini. And so what I'm going to do is remotely connect to this Mac Mini here. And tell it to reboot, and then we'll test the video output there. So I have a 2010 Mac Mini. It's networked to the other, so I could at least see. I can also see if it detects there's a display, I guess. Let's see, graphics and displays. VGA. I don't think it actually detects it, so I'm going to restart this machine just for the heck of it. And then we'll turn this on again. But yeah, that turned on by itself. I did not push that button, unless that button is broken. I'm waiting to hear if that Mac Mini is going to reboot. And we'll turn this monitor on. I hear the crickle crackling. Hey, we got an image. It's actually okay. It's a shutdown image. Hey, there we go. I was worried there. So now the Mac Mini's rebooting. There we go. How about that? So let's see, Mac Mini's rebooting now. We should get a green light. There we go. Hey, how about that? Look at that. Wow. Now, I did have another CRT that was... Oh, there we go. That was the G4 graphite matching one. And unfortunately that stayed on for a while and then it shut itself off. So I don't really have too high hopes for this. But you know what? It works. It works at all. Yes, exactly what Dana is saying. She's alive for now. It's exactly the way I would put it. Because these are all on borrowed time here. These are all on borrowed time. Well, this one again has huge, thick scratches. It's very hard to see. Let me bring it closer here. We got huge scratches on the front of the screen here. Let me move the white away. You could sort of see them. They're not smudges. Those are scratches on the glass. So again, not too distracting if you're playing a game or something, but but yeah, we're gonna make a little message here. I'm using remote desktop, so everything's like slow. Alright, and then let's oh, you won't let me do that? Come on. There we go. Hello, Jay. We're gonna send a picture of this to Jay, and then if I show up dead somewhere, or you don't hear from me for a while, you know exactly why. I'm very surprised this is actually working. Again, I am very eager to not leave this on for a while because, yeah, let's go to the display panel here. And so this is at 1024 by 768. We could go up to 1620 by 1200. Oh my goodness. But yeah, let's go back to a different resolution here. Yeah, the monitor seems to work. This is at 60 hertz, so it's pretty close to the refresh rate of this camera. So you're not going to see too much lines or anything. In fact, if I bring you closer there, you don't really see too much scrolling. In fact, when I move the camera up and down, you sort of see it. But that's really it. It's pretty much in sync. Not exactly, but hey, I have, you know, one other of these monitors, the graphite one, that does not work. Then I have one that worked and then it shut itself off. So this is not bad. We have some adjustments here. This is minimum brightness there. It's sort of in the middle. The contrast is set to maximum. We could tone that down a bit. We have our left and right adjustments here. Although we have an on-screen display. And the geometry is not exactly perfect. We can adjust the tilt here. There we go. Hi, Jay. Did you, did I wake you up? Eep! Thank you very much, Jay, for the super chat. Honestly, thank you. You're not happy with me, I know, but... Oh, boy. Yeah, so I'm going to actually gonna close out the stream in a few minutes here because it's the last thing I want to test. We've been going for 2 hours now. But, yeah, it has a nice little on-screen display here. So you can mess around with the geometry and such. Yeah, so... Alright, Jay. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wrap this up before this monitor decides to get angry with me. But this is a very nice display. It's seen better days, but you know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So, I'm going to shut down this screen here. Unplug it. Because we don't need that display plugged into the Mac Mini. You could still hear it discharging itself. Kind of. A little crackly crack crack. Even though it's unplugged. The king of redacted has returned. Thank you, Grudy. Eep. Everyone super chat $10 so Steve can get a new flyback transformer fund for the poor CRT. Consider a Mac84 t-shirt saying I'm a redacted. I think that's actually Greg's job there. I think Greg needs to get a t-shirt that says redacted on it. He's the redacted king over here. Get on that, Greg. We want some redacted t-shirts. And on the back, this is just some free art design. You could have like you giving a thumbs up, like a little big smile, like right on the back right there. But on your thumb, there's a little drop of blood. And you know, just like, and then there's your logo. You don't have to do it. Just think it'll be a nice design choice, you know. Oh boy. Well, we're actually successful tonight. I was thinking we were not going to get any of this to work. And the only thing I did test that I got from the same time as I got this was a Revision A iMac, which unfortunately, you turn it on, you hear the CRT make a noise, and it shuts itself off. So there's something wrong with that definitely doesn't do anything. But I tested that before this stream. And, well, in February I actually tested that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm glad we had some success today. I always like when some things go well. That's Not always the plan, as you know from my live streams. But I'm glad that you stayed with me through our unboxing and through all the fun that we had. I know that I have some scripted videos that are very close to completion right now. So I'm, just doing these live streams like once a week, because otherwise these are addictive. I'd stay on here for hours and hours and hours. But I want to work on those videos. I want to finish those up. So I appreciate your patience if that's something you're looking forward to. But Bruce and Greg and Jay and Mike and everyone else is also creating great videos. They're doing live streams as well. So those are things to look forward to. Ricardo asked, what did I show before the eMac? So this is a two-part video. We did some unboxing of some stuff I got in for the past few weeks. And then we did some testing of computers. So that's what we did here. You could all pay Trina because she bet the CRT could work. Yes, those invoices are now due. But I guess that's about it. So yeah, I am working on some cool stuff. I'd be happy to share that with you guys soon. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. It really helps me out with getting gear for the show and stuff like that. And thank you again for David for your microphone giveaway if you're still watching. I'm excited to use that instead of this little microphone here. So we'll be replacing that microphone soon. And I guess that's about it. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, the handle is Mac84TV. But it's been lovely hanging out with everybody today. And I sure appreciate all the super chats, all the comments, all the feedback. Had a fun time here today. And thank you for watching a Mac84 video. And see you again next time. I'm going to awkwardly hit that end stream button and probably make a silly face. So...